Add me, and then that's the one she closed, of course. And I'll figure out a way to pull it up. All right. For Shaheed or Swift, I'm going to be more interested in going towards the Shaheed side. Kyron or Connor, I'm going to be more interested in going towards the Kyron side. B. Robert Metcalf and the flex. I'm going to be most interested in flex. Metcalf, appreciate all the likes and follows. Everyone does mean a lot. Henry or Ayuk, I lean more towards Ayuk. Burrow or Derek Carr, going to lean towards Burrow. Carr or Stroud, I'm going to be more just going towards the Stroud side. Burrow or Derek Carr, I'm going to be leaning more towards the Derek Carr side. Burrow should be more than fine, though, in reality. Chargers D or Raiders D? Probably Raiders D. Juwan Jennings or Waddle? Going to go towards Waddle. Kyron Williams or Montgomery, going to lean towards Kyron Williams. Let's get this up here on the page for the people. Bing, boom. Amari Cooper or Shakir, I'm going to be leaning more towards the Shakir's. I realistically, Amari Cooper's going to be fine usage, but we'll see how that plays between the two of them. Bills D against Jacks or Green Bay against Titans. Rather Green Bay against Titans, I guess. I think both defenses will be optimal in that matchup. Shaheed or Devonta, going to lean more towards Devonta. Appreciate the likes and follows. Carr, Murray, I lean more towards the Murray side. Laporta or McBride, going to be leaning more towards McBride. Do I think Stevenson's going to bounce back? We will see. We will see if he does. Leading running back in usage. So, Neighbors or Shakir, going to lean more towards Neighbors. Yes, Sag, we are live on YouTube, letting people get filed in there. Got the realistically just letting people get their teams to Jackson and they'll put them up on here. We're letting every people know that we're live right now here on TikTok, letting this kind of get the algorithm going. And then we'll dive into the team reviews. Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels can be leaning more towards the Caleb Williams side this weekend. I don't mind Jaden Daniels for the mobility. This is also not a bad spot for him at all. Let's see here. Derek Carr or Caleb Williams. I really see like leaning more towards Derek Carr, more proven offense there. Purdy or Goff. I'd rather go towards Goff, realistically. Purdy doesn't do as well without Deebo Samuel. We got Grant in here. All right, we'll let him talk to the chat here.
Diggs and Pitts for Higgins and Goddard. Yes. Wait, no. If you have Diggs and Pitts, probably no. Would lean no there, Tony. I'd probably hold for now, Tony. I know it's not great in the Pitts world now, and Diggs is kind of interesting given the competition there, but oh, you also have Laporta? You don't really need Goddard then either. So maybe just try to trade and pivot off somewhere else.
Mind pinging Jackson, see where he's at, and then we'll get these going here. in here. We'll go ahead and start ripping through some of these teams. Going to switch up the background here. All right. All righty here. Let's go through these teams. Get this knocked out. All right, so we got Kyler, Jordan Mason, David Montgomery, CeeDee Lamb, Chris Olave, Trey McBride, Amari Cooper, Brian Thomas Jr. Chiefs defense this weekend, definitely interesting. Yeah, biggest thing for this team right here is build up your RB2. I think Jonathan Brooks will be interesting in the future, but your running backs realistically need to be stronger here. Your receiving core is extremely strong, like it for the most part. I'd be selling off of Amari Cooper after he has a pop game, though. There's just a lot of dynasty analytics pointing towards a complete fall off for somebody like him. So he's somebody that I really just don't want on my roster. I think there's going to be other players that emerge out of that offense over time. I always recommend tearing down from quarterback if you're always curious about like how to move out of your running back specifically. Jordan Mason's going to be a very high value target for the short term. McCaffrey is obviously going to come back. Jonathan Brooks should be theoretically a league winner if this offense turns around, but we'll get to see how that plays out. One of my favorite games to target in fantasy this week is that Raiders Carolina game. I like both sides of it. I like Zamir. I like Devontae. I like Brock Bowers. All right. Moving on to the next squad. Wait, you're trading Olave for James Conner and Chandler? I wouldn't do that personally. I would rather keep Olave. That sounds like an L if you're the one that's getting James Conner and Chandler here. All right, moving over to the next squad here. We got Anthony Richardson, Breece Hall, Kyren Williams, DJ Moore, Rashee Rice, Brock Bowers, James Conner, Raiders defense. All right, and then this is your bench. Trade Kyren for Ayuk and Dobbins. No, I'd keep your running backs here. I prefer to see what you have. You got really strong receivers. James Conner is somebody you can technically pivot off of, but you also have Drake London on your bench. I would consider even tearing up for like a super elite receiver option with what you have here. There's no reason not to for your flex. Like James Conner is a really high valued commodity right now, so I would go chase like a Chris Olave or something like that with him. I think you could pull that off rather easily. All right, move on to the next one here. Lamar Jackson, J.K. Dobbins, Alvin Kamara, Chris Godwin, CeeDee Lamb, Sam Laporta, Devonta Smith. The bench, you got Whittington, trade advice. So Alvin Kamara is a sell high candidate for me. I think he projects extremely well this week, so I wouldn't be surprised if he has another good week. You can get realistically easily an elite tier piece and something with how he's playing right now, especially with how this offense is looking. J.K. Dobbins is a sell high candidate for me as well. So I would just pivot the running back room. It's sexy now, but for the future, I don't think that's what you're going to necessarily want. That's why I try to pivot people more towards Bijan Robinson, because when we're thinking about championship weekend and winning this whole thing, Bijan has the matchup against the Commanders that we want, right? So that's where I want to be focusing my attention towards. Alrighty, let's see here. And then Godwin's fine, CeeDee Lamb's fine, Sam Laporta's fine, Devonta Smith's more than fine. But yeah, that's how I would attack it. Maybe Whittington spikes for this weekend, in which case you can really sell high if you need to. But yeah, like the squad overall, my friend.
Jason, if you want to get your team rated, you just join the Discord. I'll drop a link in the chat shortly, and then you're going to DM at Jamario Moon, and he'll walk you through the end of the process there.
Yes, sir.
All right. On to the next squad here. You can always tear down from quarterback as well, but I wouldn't recommend doing that this weekend. I like Lamar a lot. Kyler Murray, CeeDee Lamb, Marvin Harrison Jr., David Montgomery, Joe Mixon, Mike Gesicki, Amari Cooper. Definitely would switch this team around a little bit. You got hit with a little bit of an injury bug with Puka. That sucks. Marcus filling in. That's all right. Get Gino on the bench so he can fill in realistically. Okay. So Joe Mixon probably isn't playing this weekend, so you're going to need a different running back in there, so that's annoying. You might just have to ride this weekend out and then sell high on some assets after next weekend, because you're not going to win this weekend because your running back room is likely too thin. Obviously, you're going to have to move Bucky Irving in for Joe Mixon. Let's see here. Yes, I would trade Dobbins, one of your bench players. That would be something I recommend. Cam Akers would be a nice addition to this squad for the weekend. You can realistically drop Lockett or Geno and add him. That adds more value to you by a wide margin. You can tear down from Kyler here if need be to upgrade your running back room as well. That is something I would kind of encourage for this squad. After Amari Cooper has a good game, which he should against this Giants squad, I would sell high on him. I just don't like his long-term outlook here. And then DeMarcus Robinson's a fine fill-in point per dollar play. But I'd also go pick up somebody like a Jordan Whittington over Geno Smith here to provide you upside. realistically. So hopefully you can be trading out of some of these lesser tier players if you can. That's just my 2 cents on how I'd go about that. All right. Anthony Richardson, Josh Jacobs, Zamir White, Tyreek Hill, Devonta Smith, Mike Gesicki, Rashee Rice, Baker Mayfield, Bucky Irving, Austin Eckler, Ladd McConkey, Drake London. Really strong squad. Like it a lot. Josh Jacobs' usage is going to be crazy this weekend, which is fun. I do believe that Cam Akers will be starting. Zamir White, yeah, I love the play this weekend, but like after he pops this weekend, we are moving as a collective off of Zamir White as quickly as possible. We don't want to be holding on to this for too long because we really can't tell what is going on in Grant's mind with this Raiders backfield. I don't know what he's telling them to do back there, but it's annoying us all.
I think this week should be a good one, but if it's not a good one, then you're just cooked, and I don't know if you can really get much value for it. So it's like
it's do or die for Zamir
on the line this weekend.
It's do or die. All right, I'd go with Akers over Madison this week. I think Akers is going to have a lot of fun usage. All right, Richardson, Taylor, Walker, sit. For Jacobs, you can move that up there. CD, BTJ is fine. McBride's cool. I'd put Waddle in and just kind of ride the wave. I don't mind taking shots on Deontay over him this weekend, especially if it's a PPR league. Worthy's always fun because of the upside he brings every single week. Like he could always drop 20 fantasy points. It really just all depends on like, does he get the targets? But Deontay, I think, is going to be very high usage this weekend, which will be interesting for you. Yeah, I like the squad overall, though.
We're praying.
Jalen Hurts, Rashad White, Kyron Williams, Chris Godwin, Justin Jefferson, Trey McBride, Brandon Ayuk. Let's see here. I'm not a big Rashad White guy for the long term, so I would encourage finding a stronger running back to pair up. Brian Robinson, sneakily very, very impressive throughout the season so far. So I like holding him, to be honest with you. Yeah, if anything, like you could technically tear up that way, but like I love your receivers here. You just need one better running back. You can always tear down, but you don't need to do that with this squad. Yeah, I'd just be trying to find a better running back too here. That's all I would really be doing with the squad. I like it a lot overall, though. Very, very fun and strong squad. I don't know why everyone really likes the Chargers defense this week, though. Kyler Murray, Garrett Wilson, Devonta Smith, JSN, Saquon, J.K. Dobbins. Let's see here. So J.K. Dobbins is fine, but I'd be trying to pivot off of him. Jake Ferguson. He's probably going to play this weekend, so you can know that's fill in. I get that. Yeah, strong squad. I would just be trying to build up a better RB2 here. Not really much to be said otherwise. I really like the squad overall. If anything, like you can sell out of Ferguson. I wouldn't really recommend doing that. Jonathan Brooks will come along over time. But, yeah, that's all I would really do to kind of change the squad overall. It's really strong in my opinion. JSN breakout has arrived, I believe so. Take over, but it honestly doesn't look that way to you. The worst you can see is a 50 split at the end of the season. We'll see. We will see. But I could easily be wrong. I've been wrong on plenty of things before. All right, let's see here. C.J. Stroud, Jordan Mason, Kyron Williams, Rashee Rice, Garrett Wilson, Isaiah Likely, James Conner. All right. Then we have all these crazy receivers on the bench. Bryce Young sympathy card. Yeah, build up your RB1 in technicality or RB2, but like this is a more than fine squad. Not really anything to be said. Nova, like really like the team. You got Drake London, Marvin Harrison, maybe sell high on Drake London, improve your RB1 overall. But that's really about it. I like the squad overall. All right, let's see here. Claim in for Gesicki. Okay, I think that's fine. Anthony Richardson, Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf, Kyron Williams, James Conner, Jordan Whittington. Okay. I'd probably put Shakir in over him right now just because I like him a lot. But we'll see if Whittington actually gets that true role. But yeah, I try to get your running backs to something that's a little bit younger. I don't mind the usage for these guys. I think that Kyron is a massive smash this weekend. But outside of that, yeah, I like the squad overall. That's really how I kind of change things. Derek Carr is a bit of a sell high candidate in the sense that like people are always willing to buy quarterbacks and redraft, which I think is interesting. All right, we got Joey B, Joe Mixon, Bijan Robinson, DK Metcalf, Jaden Reed, Sam Laporta, Zay Flowers. Then you have Deontay Johnson on the bench. Mixon's probably not playing. I'd prefer to find a better running back option, realistically, for this weekend. But overall, I like the squad. It's really strong. Not much to be said here. In theory, if Jordan Love isn't playing, then move Jaden Reed into the out and Deontay Johnson in. But that's what there. Looks like there's a good chance Love plays this week. We'll see. I'm not fully convinced, but it sounds
It's
like
pretty
he will.
crazy though, because it seems like there's a really good chance he plays next week, which is
Yeah.
shocking to me. But that's
Like,
good.
I'm all on board for him playing next week, but this week I'm still kind of like,
No, for sure. I just thought it was guaranteed going to be at least 3 or 4 or something. He's recovered super quickly.
So we'll see how it goes this weekend. I'm also not like everyone's ecstatic to always start people immediately coming off of injuries, which I think is always interesting. It's like, why don't we just wait a week, see how they actually feel coming off of this injury rather than just rush into it? He is going against a good defense regardless. Might not be a good come-out game for him, but we shall see. CJ Stroud, Josh Jacobs, Jordan Mason, CeeDee Lamb, Brian Thomas Jr., Mark Andrews, Derrick Henry. I'd sell out of Derrick Henry, Gandhi. Taysom Hill's fine on the bench. Yeah, I would just be trying to build up to a more consistent RB2 over time that's going to be there for you at the end of the season. Outside of this is a really, really strong team. I like how the receivers are going to progress, and there's plenty of ways to package your running backs together to really get more consistent RBs on the squad. I think BTJ is going to be a big thing this year, so I like him a lot. And then QJ is a very high first year target.
It feels like the kind of guy that we see every year, the rookies that pop off late into the second half.
Agreed.
He has that written all over him, so I'm excited for it. I'm definitely holding and bullish on him in general.
All right, moving on to the next squad here. You're 0-2. Jalen Hurts, Breece Hall, Jalen Warren, Deontay Johnson, Devonta Smith, Mark Andrews, Drake London, Fairbairn, Braylon Allen, Zach Charbonnet, Jordan Whittington, Demarcus Robinson. Yeah, you're playing for upside there. That's smart. You need to build up your RB2 here. So if I would also switch out Charbonnet for Jalen Warren. Charbonnet should be the one starting, and I would also sell high on Charbonnet. I would package him with a receiver who pops this weekend and try to see if you can get a more consistent RB2. Now, remember, you can always tier down from Jalen Hurts to build up that RB2 as well. I like your squad overall. I really wouldn't worry about it too much. It's a very strong squad. Not really too much to be said at this point in time. Let's see here. On to the next one.
Guys, if you want to get your teams up on this review right now, all you got to do is hit the link in our YouTube chat or in our TikTok bio. Yeah, Grant's going to post that right at the bottom of the chat right now. Once you're in the Discord, DM me at Jamario Moon, like you see on the screen, and I'll give you instructions on how to get your team up on the review. But yeah, that's all we have for right now.
Well, might as well cut it there. I don't think we're going to get any in time, realistically.
Okay.
All right. Appreciate you, gents. If we didn't get to you today, we'll get to you tomorrow. Well, probably not tomorrow, Monday, hopefully. But until next time, appreciate you all. Hope you have a great day. Until next time, peace, y'all.
Peace.